And, oh, frag bomb coming in. Oh, this could be deadly. All right, let's watch it. Coming in. Hello everyone, this is a Greyshot17 here, bringing another CH2 a replay. This is a 2v2 on Poltawa with Chesties and Sexlaw, with Normandy 1944 and Frial, both of which I guess are part of the Ark clan. Sure, why not? I'll let you guys know who submitted this at the end, so it does spoil the game. And, yeah, we'll see how this game goes. Wow, already with commanders. Before we do so, this is just your general reminder to submit your replays via greyshotproductions@gmail.com or go to ch2.org with Shoutcast and submit there. Also, this is going to be probably new. I think this is the first time I'll say this, but I do want to reiterate, as it's a new, show. If you have a clip or a small segment where you do amazing, you want to show that instead of an entire replay, you can also submit that to me via my Gmail, and I will take a look. If you have a small Twitch account or like if you have essentially clips on Twitch that you wanted me to see, or YouTube as well, you can do that. But I much prefer going into the replay itself and watching it. But, I'm trying to open it up to multiple ways. That way you can kind of highlight people's smaller actions in games that maybe is really cool, but they don't want to show me the entire replay because it's really just one moment that highlights the game. So, again, submit that. Anyway, enough of this shilling, except for, of course, make sure you follow me on, or sub to me on Twitch, and follow me and sub to me on, no, you can't really follow me, sub to me and like on YouTube. There we go. There's all the shilling. Is that good, Cat? Cat's staring at me right now. All right, my cat's telling me to move on, so I'm moving on. Anyway, Soviet forces are trying to move up, but I feel like they have walked into a bit of an ambush with pioneers coming up right behind them. These grenadiers should probably move into some cover, I would say. Wow, like the pioneers who are using this, is that dead body? Are they really using the body? All right, it's showing me a body as cover, so yeah, sure, why not? Body as cover. But, let's see. Conscripts also moving on some grenadiers. Grenadiers getting an initial salvo off to really... yeah, they're really pushing into those conscripts, and I think they're going to win. Yeah, I think they'll win that fight. British infantry, though, coming in to save the day while those conscripts are still running. So not saving them anytime soon. Commander-wise, let's see, we have assault support, so a lot of really nice support abilities, such as additional resources, airstrikes, and munitions, which is really helped by the cargo truck. And then we have, of course, Tiger Tank as well. Actually, I really like this one overall, because, again, the artillery field officer also is pretty good now, so nice. Normandy has big festing support. Probably not as useful, but if you can use these abilities well, then it can suit you. The mortar half-track's good, smoke is good for recon and cover. Again, I don't really use relief infantry, but a lot of people say it's okay. And also, the artillery with the sector assault can be pretty good if used, sparingly and correctly. Especially, the problem is right now is with this artillery piece is the Sexton. A Sexton can return fire. This one can't move. This one can. So the Sexton could probably annihilate the LFH-18, but if the LFH-18 can get the artillery counterattack, aka the counter barrage, that could maybe allow it to live, because it could do damage against the Sexton before Sexton is able to really do a lot of damage toward it, but it would have to be very quick. So, have to watch out for that. Also, concentration barrage, if, the Soviet player goes recon or has the recon ability, could be very deadly. I always recommend in games, I know 2v2s, it's harder, but I always recommend games to make sure that, especially when there's more players, you have a direct strike and recon, because that really will help turn the tide against players who are blobbing, have artillery, or you just need to plan ahead. And recon, once again, is so valuable in this game because of Fog of War. I know because I actually just did recent Iron Harvest gameplay, and people were like, hey, where's the Fog of War on this? And I'm just like, they're making it. Apparently that's a feature in the game they haven't put in yet. But it was so interesting to see of course, like the player and what they were doing and what their tactics were, because essentially you could tell by their base structure what they were doing. Speaking of base structure, let's see what the Germans are up to. They both have gone with the first building, but okay, there we go. One of them has just gone that upgrade. Oh, good grenade. Really push back those grenadiers. Again, vigorous machine gun, putting some putting a lot of damage into that MG42. Very good. Very good indeed. Grenadiers just holding the line. MG42 on standby. So not too shabby. Again, they're trying to recapture this territory. Resource-wise, allies right now have a small lead, but the Germans might be able to catch up after capping that point. They actually should. And with capturing that point, they'll at least put a lot more into the capture points, hopefully turning the tide in this game. Vickers just unstoppable until, well, this mortar half-track drops its payload on this building. So that could be a big issue. Oh, nice fire barrage. And again, he's in a building, so he'll take additional damage. Again, fire does a lot more to units in buildings or KA, structures, which is good. It's, good way to get him out. MG opening fires, pushing them back. Could probably be flanked by this direction, though. Oh, wait, no, they have the MG here. Do they have MG up here? Nope. So it'll go all the way around, and you can get around the German units. Germans right now are using double mortar half-track. I get kind of why people really like using this thing, because essentially it's a mobile mortar that you can use, and mobility can be very key for artillery, because usually what the enemy will do is they'll try to lock that area down and take it out. As much as I like the B4, that's usually an issue, because again, the enemy will just be like, oh, that's the artillery piece that's been causing us grief, let's focus fire and neutralize it. So these things being mobile, you can essentially get out and without it let's say a direct strike or someone coming in to kill it. I mean, they still can if you're not paying attention, but you can definitely dodge it. Anyway, conscripts coming on the left, grabbing the fuel, which will definitely hit the Germans and knock out the fuel income quite a bit. Yeah, sucks and cheats have not really picked. I'm sorry. I'm kind of curious about their synergy. Let's see. They're both. Oh, okay. One's newer and one's kind of been around the block. But same thing for the enemy team. So. Oh, boy. Wait, hold on. You wouldn't tell that by their KDs, but that being said, Soviets usually take more losses. But oh, boy. Wow, okay, that MG could have done wonders if it activated armor-piercing rounds, but because of the grenade and everything else, it's going to die, unable to fire it. Good mortar hit, pushes back the British infantry. MG's pressing that. Armored car, though, could probably take it out. Grenadiers still moving in, so we could possibly see a Panzerfaust inbound. Good job with the armored car. Nice idea with Sucks getting that to counteract the mortars. And right now, there's almost nothing. The Grenadiers should turn right and Panzerfaust it, especially because they have more than enough munitions. But most likely this armored car is going to be like, hey, I don't really care. I just killed, was it, probably 400 manpower and 40 worth of fuel with this thing. So, oh, sorry, 60 worth of fuel. So, honestly, it's more than made up for it. Well, unfortunately, though, that thing did escape. So, maybe not now. But at least the artillery has fallen back. And Normandy is kind of on the, not doing all that great. He did lose quite a number of units in that push, while the Allies have gained quite a bit of territory, specifically the Soviet player, though that push may be coming to an end. Again, we can see here early warning being deployed so the British can see all the forward areas the Germans are, so they can detect, well, the Grenadiers are over here, and scout cars kind of moving in. Well, we'll see what they do. What does the Allies currently have in store? The armored car has been destroyed, but he's getting an AT gun. He hasn't made the next building yet. He'll probably do that soon. We have a T-70 being made, which should counteract the scout car, which is now going in its own flanking maneuver to try to push back the mortar. And I'm assuming the infantry. Infantry flamethrower are doing okay. We have Royal Engineers on standby. Vickers machine gun on standby. Okay. Grenadiers kind of just using heavy cover. Oh, sorry, using medium cover and kind of slowly pushing on up. Mortar half-track moving up and up. I'm assuming using mortar abilities there on that MG. Yeah, okay, it was. Conscripts moving on in. Do you have AT grenades? You do. So at least you should be able to do some damage versus the mortar half-track. Maybe not kill it, but you can do quite a bit. Up. We have artillery field officer on standby. My favorite ability is just dropping smoke. I'm just pointing that out. The fact you can do that way you can get around MGs is very, very helpful, especially when the allies maybe go a support spam or something. Mortar pit has been made. It is a little farther back, but I think this is a good location. The brush and everything will keep it from being a direct target, meaning artillery needs to come in or flank, a major one that goes deep into allied lines, which is very risky, which I don't think the Axis can really pull off right now. Now, the mortar pit should be able to provide supporting fire in mid and elsewhere. Maybe even hurt this MG. It might just be out of range, but I think it should still be barely able to fire. So if the allies can capture this territory, that'd be pretty huge, and then of course this would help counteract any Axis push. I forgot to mention, Cheats did go with Soviet Industry, so good for him. He's gonna most likely be focusing on armor. Again, fuel getting more armor, healing armor, or just really, really good piece of armor versus armor and infantry alike, though this, while good against armor, is maybe not the best versus heavy tanks because of its slow turret and rounds that are more of a artillery base than a like armor piercing. It'll still do damage, but it does it way more against base infantry. So a Panther that's constantly moving around it while the KV-2 is unsupported would probably be its like biggest issue. Scout cars shooting down the plane, which sure, why not? That would stop the fuel from dropping in, which does kind of suck. Especially if you're versing an OKW player, the fact that they can literally shoot down those planes makes this ability not worth it if you know the enemy has AA. If they don't, great. Then it can still be pretty good. But if the enemy has an OKW truck or an Oswind or something, you might not want to spend the munitions on this. Though, again, Cheats doesn't really have much to lose. Even though I say always place mines, if he feels that he has excess munitions, it might just be worth the risk. Hopefully the AA gun or whatever is occupied, so maybe that plane gets through. Otherwise, you're going to have that constant threat of the plane literally crashing into your base. So just as a heads up. Allies doing well, though. They have a good amount of men, though the Germans have a bit more. But that's not stopping the tenacity of the Soviet players, pushing up the T-70, MG supporting him. Conscripts also, well, we're trying to push that back. I'm assuming throwing an AT grenade, but just wasn't able to get it. MG kind of blocking the Soviets coming this way, though it looks like that might flank that MG, which if they do with that MG, come around and flank from its side would be very, very good. Though, as we can see here, this MG should be able to actually fire upon it, but he's just switching it around. T-70, though, going to finish this thing off before it's really a threat. And we can see here that the Allies have taken over a good chunk of territory. They're getting a lot of resources right now, more so than the Germans. So that's going to be the biggest factor right now. And if I was the Germans, I wouldn't necessarily deploy these because I can't guarantee its safety. But that T-70 still around and really know, like, oh, you have an AT guns and whatnot, but I would wait till you gain a little bit more territory before you do it. Though, again, if you wanted to play it like here, I don't see harm in it. Just because of the fact that you would at least get additional resources and that can help you out for at least right now. Anyway, good attack by Friel, managing to take back some territory and take out that MG. That's going to hurt the Cheez-Its a little bit because that's his only support MG. Yeah, I'm assuming he might try to get another one, but he might not. I mean, like right now he just got this additional base. So did the British. So they might be just trying to use manpower and fuel to get that next armor piece and try to rush the Germans for it. The Germans, again, focusing a lot on light armor with the scout cars and the mortar half-tracks. That's going to delay their armor capacity, and as we can see here, it absolutely has. He has even upgraded Battle Phase 2 at Normandy, while he has gone with the light mechanized company, which allows him AT, which is good, because I always recommend AT by the 10-minute mark. That way you can counteract any sort of armor push, whether it's light armor or medium armor, because I've had the ability to deploy medium armor by the 10-minute mark. T-34 and even a Panzer IV. I think the quickest, I think I even got a King Tiger out by the 15-minute mark, but that was like exceptional. Like I was getting a ton of fuel and it was a coordinated effort, but having a King so early is really, really good. It can really help turn the tide, especially if the enemy only has one AT gun or something. It's like, oh god, we have nothing to stop this thing, and you can help take back a large portion of the map. In the meantime, Sucks Law, if I was him, or her, again, I'm assuming him just because I believe the majority of the players are guys, but anyway, Sucks Law, if I had to guess what what most likely he's going to do is probably going to go... I don't think Churchill would be a good choice because the KVA flamethrower is so powerful and, again, similar armor but incredibly deadly versus infantry. I think the Churchill, which is, again, designed to fight infantry, wouldn't be the best thing. I think, honestly, a Comet would be probably the best thing because, again, it's a great frontline battle tank, great range, good firepower. Sure, it doesn't have the armor of a Churchill. I think it would be better. And I know this map is maybe a little bit more congested, but I feel like it would go nicely with the KV that can take a lot of the hits, so the Comet can go in unison with that. Anyway, Grenadiers just mow down some conscripts, and right now Cheez-Its has lost quite a number of his men. He has barely any population left, though he could probably deploy armor right now. I don't think he's going to. Oh, okay, never mind. Just call me a liar, I guess. Sure. Anyway, T-34 being made. We have additional AT being deployed as well. The Germans have not deployed any armor, though they are finally building that building to get some Panzer IVs, Ostwinds, or Stugs. I'm assuming he'll probably go with an Ostwind, if I had to guess. Although if he sees the enemy Cromwell, stuff like that before he deploys it, he might be like, the Panzer IV might be better. I'm glad to see that. I'm really hoping he doesn't just save up for a Tiger. I feel like a lot of people really want to save up for armor like that, and that can work. But I have a tendency to see that once you're racking up a lot of points and you have the fuel for it, and it's not that late, or the enemy you keep killing the allied armor and it's not that great. You haven't really killed the T-70. You haven't really. Now the British have finally deployed their armor. So if you can stop that, great. But if you can't, you probably want that medium armor, and it probably by the time you get that late armor, it might take longer because you can't hold the points, so you have less resources. But we'll see. It's right now neck and neck with both resources and population. T-70 again, very smart, with 15 kills, just firing pop shots to just try to hurt the infantry, not getting close so he doesn't get Fausted or Panzerschrecked. AT gun though is on standby along with an MG, although as we can see here, he probably wants. Does he have a medical? Okay, he does. He has a medical. Okay, they both have medical, which is very important to heal your infantry. Always make sure you have it. Actually, does the Soviet have it? That's a good question. Soviet does not have it, so his troops are not being healed, which actually might be the reason why his unit preservation is so bad. He just can't heal his men, so they're easier to die. So always make sure you heal your guys. The British has double medics, so you can see here he's absolutely healing. With the double armor press right here, along with all the infantry firing, both support equipment have been neutralized, which is pretty big because that is kind of the big thing to stop the armor. Scout car trying to go on from the side. 3 stars, pretty damn good, but unless it gets out of there like right now, it's probably fucked. AT gun trying desperately to hold back the Soviet armor, but alas, they're just plowing on through. And the Soviet infantry knocked out the AT gun. Now there's really nothing stopping this armor from just wrecking shop all around here, unless there's like a hidden teller mine or something around here I just don't see. But I honestly don't see a teller mine. Teller mines are great for killing light armor, allied light armor, and of course heavily damaging this any sort of medium armor the enemy has. Like a T-34, if it hits by that, like 80% of its health is gone, easy. So yeah, always great to place teller mines. Nice job with the Cromwell just going in circles so the pack can't get a clean shot. Pack's great at range, but when you get up close, you can just go around circles. The problem, of course, is this situation. We have these Grenadiers right here, and they can Panzerfaust it, allowing the pack gun to redeploy and then fire. But unfortunately, with the smoke, he still can't get a clean shot on it. He has to wait for the smoke to dissipate, otherwise he has to direct fire, which is exactly what he's trying to do. And as you can see, he's missing wildly, although I think he just hit that AT gun, so that might have been on purpose. Finally, he's able to see it, so he's firing through the smoke because Grenadiers have sight. Cromwell needs to get behind that brush, like now. It's very close. One shot might kill it. Pack gun is out of range now, and the Cromwell survived. Holy mackerel, by the skin of its teeth, it managed to get out of there. Meanwhile, we have a Stug. Okay. Stug's good against, it depends on the Stug. But this Stug is good against armor. There's another special Stug good against infantry. This essentially is a mini assault gun. It's pretty good now. The other one kind of sucked a lot, but you know, good thing for it. This thing might be able to help hold back the T-70. But then he also needs to do stuff like this when he needs Panzerfaust it. The fact he just let it go, unfortunately, just, you know, let the kill go. If he would have Panzerfaust it, the Stug probably could have killed it. But now that T-70 is free to roam. And by the way, it's Vet 3, so it's going to be a goddamn nightmare for the Germans just popping shots and just causing all sorts of damage. It's a really good job with that T-70 and its gameplay. Again, Allies doing a fantastic job with it. Again, Allies do need, Axis need to start snaring it. Again, we can see here the double AT gun shot from the Pack/Stug. Really easily push this thing back, though it's still barely clinging to health and managing to get out of there. So, very, very cool. Anyway, pack gun on standby, kind of watching the point. I'm assuming they're moving additional infantry. The nice thing about the Germans, though, even though they've been kind of down on resources and now they're tied a little bit, they've at least had the victory points for, not a majority, but for a good chunk. So, they're actually not far off from the Allies in terms of the capture point time. Oh, nice. Is that... Wait, no, that's a British mine. Okay. I was like, oh, telemine right there? That's great. Oh, no, it's not. We have a bunker up here stopping a flank. Okay, they really want to stop a flank. Multiple MGs are kind of guarding this way, so infantry are pretty much going to have trouble. The mortar pit could do work, and it has gone to Vet 2, even though with only 2 kills. But it's gone to Vet 2. So we have, let's see, did you get the, no, you have not gotten the upgrade. Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Have you gotten the upgrade? You have not. Have you gotten the upgrade? Yes. So Normandy is pretty much all set to go. He did get a howitzer. He's building a howitzer. So that's going to delay his armor capabilities, but at least 12 artillery now? It seems like the British is really focusing on the Cromwells. They're fine medium armor. I just don't find them that remarkable. Compared to the Sherman or T-34, and yes, you could say that the T-34 is a suicidal medium tank, and like the Sherman is more like a utility. This one's kind of more generic, I would say, and I don't know. Compared to the Panzer IV, I just feel like the Panzer IV is slightly better. But put down the comments down below. I know this thing has great speed, so you have that for a factor, but I don't know. I just find these just don't last as long as I want them to. It's weird, because the Panzer IV will, so it's just one of those things, I guess, just unit preference. But he has 2 of them, which, again, good against medium targets and also infantry, so if he moves up, he should be able to stop this counterattack going on. T-34 trying its damnedest to hold. Nice job pinning that Stug. AT gun trying to push that thing back, but gets knocked out by the infantry and also the MG now in that area. We have, what is this? I'm assuming it's that, yeah, officer that did a special, artillery bombardment there. We have flares going out, so they should be able to see the enemy's position across the board. The British probably want to assault over here so we can retake mid, maybe knock out that building. That'll probably be very helpful. Scout car just trying to get some nice pop shots and probably going to kill that sniper, which is trying to hide but failing miserably at it. You're not hiding behind the tree, unfortunately. You don't have the ghillie suit's not meant for trees. It's meant for like high brush or something. Okay, maybe it's meant for trees, but as you can tell, it didn't work. It just didn't.
Good news. The ability is ready for you.
Of course, like, let's see. The last time I used a ghillie suit was, I think, PUBG. Last game, I mean. And, of course, I was the guy who had a ghillie suit, but the circle was on, like, in a urban area. Like, it was all around it. So, I'm a guy hiding in a building with a camo. And, yeah. Actually turned out, if I recall, pretty well. I mean, it was close, but we won. And also, speaking of winning, nice shot on that MG, knocking it out. T-34, again, being like, hey, I can shoot. I can break that building. Meanwhile, we have a good armor push coming with the double Stug. I'm sorry, double Stug. The double Cromwell against the Stug with the pack gun being redeployed, though a little too late. They were going to do a lot of damage first in the Cromwell, but they should be able to just turn around and get the hell out of there. We shall see. Yep, they're going to just back up. And if I was him, maybe deploy a smoke shot. Just keep backing on up. Panzer Grenadier Squad saying F no and knocking that Cromwell out on the flank. Very good job. Half track providing both AA coverage and anti-infantry coverage. Pack gun trying to kill it, but just, yeah, not going to happen. Cromwell gets the final kill, though, again, his main gun is designed against armor, which he should probably focus against all targets. Maybe slightly more effective. Mortar pit trying to, mortar half track trying to hit mid, but not really hitting all that much. Right now, it's been a pretty good game. Allied armor has been fantastic this game. Axis really need to step it up. Overall, the population is going down, though we can see here that Friel has saved up for a Tiger, and I guess that's fine, per se. I think, honestly, I think a Panther would have probably suited you a lot better, because A, you could have had that up, and B, I feel like you need to kill more armor than infantry, and I feel like the Panther is better at killing armor than a Tiger. I could be very wrong on that, but that's just my interpretation of, yeah, the Panther's more designed to fight armor, and it seems like the British are really focusing on that medium armor, which is a really, Panther is just like, ooh, happy hunting. So it's like, it's kind of like that scenario. Anyway, Scout Car, once again, I'll give this, the light vehicles are doing fantastic work this game. Scout Car, again, just getting some nice pop shots. Infantry pushing back the conscript squad. They do have some AT now with the pack gun and whatnot, so might be able to get a lucky shot on the T-70. Or, yep, okay, Panzerfaust possibly inbound, along with the Panzer Grenadier shots. Oh, not able to. And T70 once again survives by a hair. Just manages to get out. Any case, Cromwell, still focusing on that armor, will not shoot the infantry unless told to. So, unless he tries to run them on over, which would be death to that Cromwell with that pack gun right there, he's going to just want to go on back. Half-track coming in to try to suppress that blob. And, again, 3 guys close together, so I would call it a blob. But it's just not having that suppression ability, plus there's a lot of AT, so, yeah, this thing needs to pull back now. But we do have a KV-2 being deployed. And I'm assuming we have a Tiger. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And actually, the Germans have done a great job of capturing a lot of the territory and taking a lot of area back. So, should be pretty interesting. KV-2 lighting that sucker up. And T-34 putting an end to that Panzer Grenadier squad that's been giving the Allies a lot of hell. T-34 trying to get close and personal with that Tiger. Go around to try to get that rear armor shot while the KV goes up front. Did quite a bit of damage along with that AT gun. So, I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying that, again, you have to watch about penetrating with that shot. But, again, it did damage and pushed the Tiger back. Though T-34 did sacrifice itself, although maybe in vain, wasn't able to kill that. But it did kill the Panzer Grenadier squad, which was highly vetted, which, good for it. Really, seriously. Population-wise, it's neck and neck. We have a strafing run coming in, which should hopefully stop and or just suppress Soviet infantry from coming on in. Although, remember, they have the AA guns, so, just shot the plane out of the sky. So, just take that into effect. If the enemy has planes, maybe, again, just take note when you call in a lot of planes. You either have to distract it, engage it, or just fill the skies with planes. So, hopefully, whatever yours is, doesn't get shot. Like, you can, hypothetically speaking, if the enemy has enough AA, shoot down like an IL-2 bombing strike or something coming in, or a frag bomb coming in. You can shoot that plane down. So again, you just have to be very cautious about like what direction you're calling the plane in and etc. And to really get maximum effectiveness. AT gun opening fire to push back that scout car, which is doing a great job. Again, just as a reminder, the scout car does have some pretty long sight lines. So again, scout for recon, even more so if you give it the spotting scope. It can see incredibly far, especially when it's highly vetted. So again, that just helps with sight lines and allows you to see the enemy, which hopefully puts a lot of pressure. Now, you have 2 forward assemblies. Why would you do this? Because one is forward retreat point, and one is medics. That's why I did it, so we could retreat and heal. That being said, each of these are like 200 manpower. So they're 400 manpower, plus this, which is another at 600 manpower, and this, which is just 60 munitions. So that's a lot, where if you think about it, let's say the OKW building, yeah, it's about 400 manpower and then 600. So you could say it's about right on the money for overall for returning and healing for, I guess, the German med base. But the one thing is they have 1 building. This is 2. But hell, I mean, I guess if they try to focus on 1 building, hopefully the other one survives. But we'll see. Any case, artillery coming in on mid. Holy cow, mid has just become a bit of a crater field, as you can see. Anyway, artillery fire coming in, try to push back that mortar. Half track just slowly inching forward. AT gun kind of just chilling. I'm watching against a possible Soviet assault. I'm sorry, German assault. Why am I saying Soviet? German assault. We do have a Panther by Normandy just chilling in the back. I think him getting a Panzerwerfer would also be pretty good because you can see they are blobbing. Or the Allies are at least coordinating a lot of units in close proximity. Tiger might be able to kill the half-track before it's able to escape. We shall see. It is, and that's a good kill. Now, he does want to get out of there before enough, AT fire and stuff hits him. But I would say for just a quick run, raid, that Tiger did a fantastic job at moving in and doing quite a bit of damage. Mortar half-track opening fire on target, trying to break these guys up, which is very good. And as you can see, Vet 2, so he's doing something. Also, the howitzer right there. Where's that howitzer focused on? It's focused on the mortar. Okay. I'm fine with things focused on mortars. I think focusing on here would be better. And it's not like you don't have recon. These smoke bombs would be excellent for flying in and you can see the enemy's positions. I know it's dropping smoke, but if you drop smoke like here and it flies over, you can still see them. Will fly in one straight direction, but I still say it's worth it just to get an idea or a general picture of where the Allies are. Meanwhile, Allies getting their own artillery. We have a Sexton on the field and ready to go. Sexton hitting over here, or at least aim in this general direction. I don't know why it would. That being said, maybe it's preemptively preparing for a Tiger push because this Tiger is now coming in on a different direction. T-70 moving on up. You're probably going to really focus on this KV-2 fighting the Tiger. But hey, maybe that T-70 can go head-to-head. And it is, actually. It's, T-70 trying to fight the Tiger. And we'll, oh my god, barely missing the T-70 the Tiger did. Although KV-2 moving on in. Playing airstrikes, pressing the infantry, and without support, that KV-2's like, I'm not staying. It's like, I know how this goes if I don't have support. I'm dead, so I'm going to move back. And you know what? He's 100% right. Anyway, British forces on standby. I'm assuming they're going to start a push in mid. But then with that strafing run, again, they have to watch out for that general area of effect, which you can see is in this red line zone. So you definitely have to watch out there. Normandy, he has gotten himself nothing yet. Maybe a Brumbar? Brumbar could be good. It's a weaker version of a KV-2, but it's still incredibly deadly versus infantry and can take a lot of hits. It's just not maybe as potent as the KV-2 is, but still very, very, very good against that general, like against those targets. So I recommend it. Anyway, Soviet forces launch, try and defend themselves against the Tiger, pushing in a bit too far. Pack-Gun, though, is moving into support, which does a bit more damage versus the infantry. And I love that. The infantry is spotted, immediately strafing runs like, nope, you're not going in. So that's pretty great. German's taking this opportunity to grab some points. He does need to move up some Pioneers, though, to heal that Tiger and get this thing back on track. Meanwhile, we still have the Cromwell. Now we have a Firefly being deployed. Have you gotten a Comet yet? Okay, yes, he did go Hammer. And again, it also comes with these bonuses. The track vehicle thing, I think, might be the best thing, because if you hit it with the Firefly, that extra little bit of sightlines on that target could maybe allow an AT gun or the Cromwell or something, even a Soviet unit, to get that final nail in the coffin to bring down that Tiger or something. So always try to make combined abilities to make themselves really good. Like, my favorite ability to call in is Zeroing Artillery and Special Operation Flares, because you can't kill the flares, and Zeroing Artillery will kill everything in the area. So just kind of a bonus. Oh, fuck. The Tiger detonated the mine, but also the conscript squad managing to pin that Tiger. Unfortunately, the Tiger was able to kill that T-70, so I'm sorry, Hero T-70. You did good. You fought well, but unfortunately, it did not go you didn't last. Pack gun opening fire. Oh, 2 pack guns opening fire on that Cromwell. Just not able to take a lot of hits and just goes the way of the dodo. Meanwhile, Panzerwerfer coming on in. Is that Panzerwerfer? Was I right? Yeah, he got Panzerwerfer. Okay, cool. I was right. And because they were blobbing, it did actually quite a bit of damage versing all of them. Cool. Very cool. Anyway, so we have German forces really putting a lot of pressure on the Allies right now. A lot more resources than the Allies too. Allies also, as a detriment, have not put down any caches, and you can tell that as well because there hasn't been any destruction in this area. So if the enemy hasn't done that, well, you can tell they have put down caches, because usually a target will miss or they'll hit the surrounding area, something will explode and it'll cause terrain damage. So these guys have just been really neglectful of that, maybe thinking of an early win because of how well they were doing so with their early armor. But the Germans doing a lot better with their later armor than their earlier armor. For better or for worse. Again, you could say that German armor is just more, not noob friendly, but just a lot harder to kill. But then, of course, the Allies have a bunch of bonuses for allowing the snare, like the conscript squad or the American riflemen. The British, maybe not so much, except for the Royal Engineers now. But again, if you can cripple that big armored unit, it's easier to kill. It's a lot easier. Because think about it, you could do like concentration barrage or come in with Fireflies long range or SVD5s or something like that. You could take it out pretty quickly if you know what you're doing. But that being said, if it's well supported, a lot harder. A lot harder. Now, the Allies did capture mid, so they're putting the ticking time clock on the Germans, forcing them into doing something. To what? We don't know. We do know that they are still fortifying this sector, and they still haven't lost anything over here, so at least they're getting those resources. They've put down a supply truck, but they haven't really put down caches of their own. So they're also in an area where it's like, hey, guys, you're near pop cap. Maybe put down some additional caches. I mean, 10 more munitions per turn may not sound like much, but over time, like let's say you had those caches for 30 minutes. I feel like that's a pretty good general thing. So you get 10 munitions per turn for 30 minutes. That's 300 munitions, which is huge for the amount of Panzerfaust you can get, additional airstrikes you can call in, etc. Anyway, Su-85 and whatnot coming in on the flank, trying to flank that Tiger. Maybe hit a rear armor shot. Also, Conscript Squad pinning it now with the rear. Yeah, I took the bait. Absolutely took the bait. But Su-85 unlucky. Tiger was able to get a final shot in there. Man, that Tiger, especially right here, it died right next to that poor T-70. AT gun trying to move on up, Constantly trying to give sight lines, but the Panther as well, just tearing that infantry apart. Unfortunately, that tight choke point just not helping, and yeah, even though that they should be able to fire, and they are hitting that Panther now, it's just not enough to break through and kill that Tiger. So really good job on that regard. And also, if you really want to, you can drop down smoke right now and kind of block all sightlines in that sector and force the Soviets even more, which I'm surprised he hasn't done, because you figure he wants to keep the Tiger alive, but maybe he's thinking of something else. Also, I think a Brumbar and, oh, frag bomb coming in. Oh, this could be deadly. All right, let's watch it. Coming in. Oh, damn. Well, plane did crash, so unfortunately the pilot's no longer with us. But I would say a lot of Soviets are no longer with us right now. Both support equipment, whether the AT gun and MG, have been not neutralized and forced back additional forces. KV-2 now back up to the front and has the half-track to provide anti-infantry coverage. But once again, it would be very, very risky to have this thing alone fight all this armor. I think it would be a very, very bad idea. Anyway, German armor and infantry, seeing that the KV-2 is by itself, is like, oh, move in, boys. Meanwhile, on left, British, maybe not having, you know, a great time. Panzer Grenadiers kind of moving on in. They are opening fire on all these fortifications, and the Panzer Grenadier blob, always annoying, managed to do enough damage to kill the mortar pit, which, good. Also, they have artillery coming in. Maybe shouldn't focus on the mortar pit, as it's dead, but I can say, oh, no. Oh, wait, is it? That's not a hole you're supposed to come through, man. You know, it's fine. That's a nice shot, by the way. But, yeah, this thing is... That man was not supposed to be there. All right. I'm assuming the lower half of his body is still in that Panther. Oh, boy. Decapitation a little bit. Anyway, Royal Engineers now see a perfect opportunity to get a free Panther. That could be very bad for the Germans. Because, again, now he's getting a new Panther in my experience... The Germans have a hard time versing Panthers. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because of, you know, they're not really designed to fight their own. But every time I've seen an allied unit get a Panther, it's typically not gone well for the Axis, including times where I've gotten a Panther. So, yeah, they really have to watch out for that. Also, again, no caches on both sides. Come on, guys. Come on. Anyway, Normandy did kind of lose quite a bit. He's getting a more infantry kind of focus up, but he's definitely not the manpower slash like pop cap king he was. He definitely lost quite a bit, though he's slowly healing. Panzerwerfer coming on in, doing quite a bit of damage. Again, Vet 1, almost Vet 2, 13 kills, but again, as you can see here, just not really getting any major kills on any targets. 17 pounder and Priest, Sexton, I feel like could refocus their efforts and really focus their fire over here. There's really no armor in this direction, and the 17 pounder especially with the Firefly could probably focus fire at very long range. It seems like the Soviet player is definitely being pushed back, and any additional support they can get would be greatly appreciated. Munition wise as well, they're not doing well. They only have 21 per turn, so they really need something to help break this stuff apart, at least in my opinion. The British could really provide that edge to really help, especially as we can see with Soviet forces. They're just... Yeah, I mean, the British has pop cap. The Soviets don't. They definitely need a little bit of fire support. Also, Frail, if I was you, I'd also deploy as many of these supply trucks as possible, because A, they don't bite into your manpower, aka they don't take population. As far as I know, they don't. Because, yeah, usually they'll have, like, a population counter, as we can see with the Tiger 21. It doesn't. So you can put as many as you want. Though I will say this, if there is another Company of Heroes, like Company of Heroes Cold War, and you can build like foxholes or, you know, additional like bunker defenses, something like that, I do think that they should absolutely put a population on this stuff. Whether it's just 1 or 2, that's fine. But I do think this stuff should count as a unit and take up manpower, because this thing is providing such a good bonus. The only downside is it could easily die, which, again, I don't know. It might just be something that it could be thought about. You get more resources, but maybe you don't have as big of an army, so that kind of like counters maybe some people's use of it. But whatever. He can deploy as many as he wants, or put down caches, especially with all the pioneers he has, by God, he can put down so many. So I'm actually really surprised he hasn't done so as well. I mean, he's very close. I mean, he could literally buy himself another tiger or get anything he wants. So once again, I don't think a cash or two would really be that bad. That way he can keep calling in frag bombs and strafing runs as many times as he wants. Meanwhile, 17-pounder still alive. Do we have that artillery piece? Do we still have it? Oh, no. Sexton blew it to Kingdom Come. Good job, Sexton. Good job. Though he has 2 Sextons now and a Firefly. Two 6-pounders and a 17-pounder. So he has a lot of AT and a couple mines placed. Good job, because I'm thinking of the German player, I'm going to do recon to identify key targets, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flank, and I'm going to try and knock out those Sextons, because if I can knock out the artillery, oh boy, it would be very close to GG. Airstrike coming in on the side. AT gun is pretty much fucked. Oh god! Wasn't able to unload its full payload, so the AT gun survived, but that being said, the German decided to go a kamikaze airstrike into the 17-pounder. So, good job. Good job, half-track over here. You shot down the plane, but you still caused just as much damage. It's like the quote in the Godzilla 1998 movie, aka the monster in that is officially known as Zilla. I'm not even joking. That is not Godzilla. If you think that is Godzilla, even though the movie is Godzilla, you are unfortunately a square and need to do some more research. But, as a quote from the movie, you did more damage than that goddamn thing did. So, you know, just as a heads up for, you know, trying to do your best with what you got, but you end up doing a lot more harm than good. In any case, the Allies aren't out of the woods yet. They still have a decent population, and as well, just a little bit of a, let's go back to the British. Oh, I guess he wasn't able to get the Panther. Oh, fuck. Oh, damn, it died. Oh, I just realized that. Maybe they were healing in, they did direct fire to kill it or something. That sucks. I was really hoping for a British Panther. That would have been great for a thumbnail. Oh, well. Anyway, Germans coming back around. Again, if I were to guess what they might do, and this also could be very bad, would be attack this way. I don't think they can, they can go side by side, so they may be single file, and that could be a great ambush location for the Soviets against the Germans. Meanwhile, we have like a no man's land right now, with like both sides really not wanting to engage either through this sector. I think the Germans are better off just by slight, good mine placement by the way, slightly than the Soviets. The Soviets though are launching the attack, but we have way more AT over here. And Conscript's launching a flanking maneuver. Oh, that ended badly. Holy crap! Oh my God. Well, they died for the motherland, I guess. Anyway, double pack gun just lighting up the Su-85. Is that on? No, one of them is not focused on vehicles. You can see one is, one isn't. So, oh, okay, but at least it's hitting the KB. General infantry flank is pushing back the MG, and we have the officer taking the midpoint, stopping the point deterioration. Now we have the AT gun go on the flank, though it looks like that maybe didn't go very well. Or they may not try to push up because they don't want to be overwhelmed. Artillery's coming in, and the KV-2 just brought Stalin's hammer right down on that poor officer. Yeah, it's no longer with us. But, yeah. We have an AT gun opening fire, though the MG and the Panzer Grenadiers will kill it pretty quickly. We have a frag bomb coming in from the wrong direction. If you want it quicker, you should have came in from the other direction. Though it's at least stopping its escape and pinning the Su-85. And that plane wasn't shot down. So, cool. Anyway, we have another officer being deployed. KV-2, 17 kills, not half bad. The British, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm not really focusing on them, it really hasn't been much of an engagement. Now we're finally getting something with Panzer Grenadiers and Panther kind of moving on in. Panzerwerfer as well, still 14 kills. Kind of expected a little bit more. Maybe more artillery right here would be pretty good. The Sextons are both still alive, though. Another thing, we have a recon going out, smoking this area, so the KV-2 can't hit and has to move up, which also sucks because now it's in perfect range of the pack guns. So, again, if they would actually focus on armor, that KV could be in some serious trouble. But also now it's like, okay, fuck it, and goes back into its smoke. Needs to really focus on these AT guns. Infantry or something needs to come in. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of frontline infantry. He really needs to focus on that. Pack guns going literally point blank with each other to fire on that KV. And by God, that KV is being hammered, though it brought the hammer down on that pack gun. Good job. managing to escape. This would be actually a perfect opportunity for a frag bomb. Actually, hell, you can even hit the half-track. Also, maybe the Panther comes around here, get a Minesweeper as well, and flank this half-track so you can kill it, so it doesn't keep being annihilated. Both pack guns were knocked out, though. Support officer coming on in. There's a lot of dead pack guns I'm seeing right here. I'm seeing a trend. Anyway, good flanking opportunity by the Germans. Looks like is doing quite a bit of damage versus the British. Maybe not versus the armor, but the infantry has surely been suffering. We have not seen Sucks keep infantry alive quite for this game. Whereas Normandy has a lot more infantry and manpower. Like, seriously, dude, where are the caches? Like, you could put so many caches. Strafing gun coming on in, though. Gonna force the infantry back. Half-track could shoot down that plane very quickly. He does. And there goes 150 munitions. He literally is like, oh, okay, now, okay, guys, let's move up. We got this. He's building a Katusha as well, which could put further issues into the this guy, which also has just lost a scout car, which does suck because it was Vet 3. But the double pack gun plus the half-track combo has been doing pretty well. He needs more general infantry, like, just for frontline assaults. And we know he has at least additional manpower, and or could just get a Panzerwerfer to really help with this stuff. Like, a good Panzerwerfer shot would kill both. So, something just, you know, something that should be, oh, good job killing that pack. But something that should be noted. Otherwise, the Germans are still getting more resources than the Allies. Though, as we can see here, they are not putting down the cap. Actually, yeah, the Germans managed to capture this point. So right now, ticking clock is on the Allies. But the Allies are capturing this point. We have Grenadier Squad coming on in, which could beat this Royal Engineer Squad. Royal Engineer is really good close range, so maybe if they could use the brush and get closer, they might be fine. But it feels like this Royal Engineer Squad is ambushing the... the Grenadier Squad's ambushing the Royal Engineers. Was able to do a good strike, and now coming in with a great flanking maneuver, and should be able to kill it pretty quickly. The only thing I would say is maybe an artillery strike comes in and does damage, but if it hugs this wall, it might be okay. Yeah, it seems like most of the shots are missing. Meanwhile, these guys are being pushed back. A lot of AT and the Su-85 is doing wonders versus it, though. We see right now Panzer Grenadiers moving on in. If they can kill this with the Panther and everything rushing on in to help out, it could be helpful. We realize he doesn't have enough munitions. If he most likely would have gotten the additional forces, he probably would have, you know, the resource to get it. Just outside the range of the 17-pounder, so as you can see, just not able to open fire against that German armor. The amount of AT, though, just putting a fuck ton of pressure on Frail, who needs any support he can to kill these AT guns. Once he kills those, I think he should be fine versus the Soviets, but his lack of ability to kill these AT guns is really making up the difference. A good micro, by the way, on Cheese coming back, because by God, it looked for a long time like Frail had Cheez-Its in the corner, but actually has turned the other direction. Also, again, you've had all those munitions the entire time, and no mines, no teller mines, nothing has been placed over here, which is kind of sad to see. Anyway, Soviets also taking control of mid. The British have been kind of also been forced back. We can see here that he's been kind of focusing in the corner, which I'm of mixed minds about. I get it. He wants to try to fight in another direction. We have smoke being dropped. Plane being crashing in the corner. We still have double pack gun still alive, actually capturing the territory. I'm trying to find out where their pens were. Oh, okay, hit mid. Actually did a lot of good shots in mid. 23 kills now, good for him. Half track is shot down. Only 4 vehicles. Okay, I thought it would be more. German assault on left, trying to get back that capture point. No AT really opening fire right now. Could be an issue. Panzer Grenadiers doing what they do best and just fight that armor. Smoke. Okay, this should have been called in sooner. Though, again, good micro on the Sexton opening fire on these guys. These guys should absolutely get up close and personal now and use that smoke to get in. Actually, hell, moving the Panther and coming this way. There's nothing. There's no mines, no nothing stopping a flank from this general direction. And you just saw this through the smoke. There's nothing there. So a flank that way would be great. Panzer Grenadiers focusing on the Sexton. And once again, these guys are kind of focusing on capturing the point. Fuck it, kill this shit. Like, seriously, you have all of his armor, everything in a perfect opportunity to really exploit, and you're not doing it. Sure, you're gonna kill one Sexton, great. But you really need this guy to fall apart now, so that way, literally, the Frail doesn't keep being pushed back. Because right now, he's being hammered really hard. 17-pounder. had to harden, so at least the armor is now coming back around. This could be very bad because now they're very far away from base. So if they overextend, it could be very difficult for them to get back. Panzerwerfer coming in, but bad timing because of brace. We have a Firefly still alive, by the way. Hey, what about that Panzer Grenadier squad? Well, it's busy fighting infantry. Why don't you have it fight the armor? Oh, it's fighting, you know, it's better against the infantry. No, it has Panzer Shreks. It's better against armor. Anyway, good flanking maneuver by the armor of the Germans, managing to knock out the British forces. But that being said, Soviets hearing this being like, all right, we'll go deep and we'll go hard and we'll try to do what we can. They're sending in forces in to try to deal with this stuff. If they can hit some of these targets on the way out, that'd be great. 17 pounder should be able to knock out that Panther. No, the brush stopping it. Although it looks like they repositioned it. AT gun though still managed to kill the Panther. This other one's deciding to fuck it. I'm gonna fight that thing. Kills the, oh my god, kills 70 pounder. Nice Panzerwerfer shot hitting all these targets. So not a lot of kills, just general hits. Again, sucks. Lost a ton of his men. He's licking his wounds and doesn't have a lot of manpower or fuel to get that stuff back. Meanwhile, we have Frail getting back to his base, just trying to get the hell out of there before he gets, you know, pinned. And yeah, unfortunately, it's single file, so he's the last one out. Oh boy, that conscript squad going through the AT grenade, make him retreat even slower. Comet now going to try to go in. You can see a pathfinding issue right there. Going to try and kill that Tiger. But a fucking traffic jam is going to murder the Germans, it looks like. The Tiger's like, let me in, you bastard. Let me in. Concentration barrage coming on in. Yep, stopping a lot of this stuff. Again, he's trying to back up, getting the Tiger Ace out. But even though he has the high ground, things are not looking good for him. And the artillery just annihilates him. Panther trying to come in to help kill the Comet. It might be able to get it one last shot in, but probably not going to be able to kill it. Artillery's coming in. One good shot, and that Panther could be crippled. Panther coming on in, but the Su-85 and KV are still there with conscripts. A lot of Panzer Grenadiers dead and dying, which is a problem. Also, picked up double Panzer Shrek, which if he kills it with the Panzer Shrek shot, that would be even better. Su-85, oh, so close. So very close. Get the hell out of there. Blitz, something. Anyway, Soviets taking this opportunity to be like, I'm going to push right, and there's nothing you can really do, and they really don't. Frail lost a good chunk of his armor in that push. He can probably get a Tiger tank shortly, but it'll take some time. Normandy still has some of his units. He's getting another Panther, and he has still Panzer Grenadiers. Though his army has been sharply reduced, and the Allies are coming back. But I mean Allies, I mean the Soviets. The Soviets really are just saving the Germans right now. The bunker will probably be knocked out by the KV, maybe even the mortar half-track. Panzer Grenadiers really need armor support versus this thing, but yeah, actually they do. And honestly, if you send one Panther over, at least it would, I don't know, maybe allow this thing to live. I feel like this KV-2 is going to fire one shot and probably damage it. It's Vet 3, so it's going to do a lot of damage versus infantry. Need to watch out. Is that sector artillery? Is that maybe a little bit? Anyway, KV-2 just getting the hell out of there, maybe firing one last shot against the infantry. Does it actually gets a nice shot against that infantry? How many kills have you gotten? 35 kills, not half bad. Anyway, traffic jam seems to be the thing that pretty much stopped the Germans from winning this. If that Tiger would have gone out, been a whole different ball game. But because it did, Frail's now pretty much like defenseless over this side. At least Sucks has his double Comet and some infantry to help support. Like, right now, this Comet's just going through, just killing it. Oh, my God, Panzerwerfer. Yeah, turn. Oh, no. Oh, man, never mind. Faust. Something. Oh, he has no Fausting ability. Fire the Panzer Shreks. One last shot. Come on. Oh, my God. He's going to escape, isn't he? He's going to escape like a bitch. It would be great if you blitzed. You probably could have caught up. Oh, man. Anyway, additional Soviet forces pushing on right with the half-track, just going to probably clean up the infantry. Putting a lot of pressure on the Germans right now by capturing all the points. Again, that flank was great. If they would have evacuated their men better, the German, it probably would have been a different story. But because it was so far away and because of the traffic jam on the escape route, yeah, that kind of turned things. That didn't help. Anyway, Pioneers opening fire with the Tiger trying to push that back as well. Most likely just trying to rush in to kill the half-track and the AT gun. really the Tiger could just go free reign over here. There's not much that can stop it. KV, though, could come in, but it's not going to come in time. AT gun still facing the wrong direction, and with the MG42, that gun should help kill that thing pretty quick. Armor pushing in, and remember, no 17-pounder. He does have a 6-pounder looking the wrong way, but the double Panther might be able to knock out the Comet. It's going to be close. Comet being reinforced by a Sexton, which, by God, if it fires point blank. Oh my God, it is. It's actually doing quite a bit of damage versus the armor. Up. Actually, holy shit, that was 2 great shots. Oh, the half-track retreat is like, I made it, and instantly die. This thing has gotten 3 shots in the row, and the Panthers have stayed there. Is he going to get 4? Nope, just overhead. God damn, that smoke, by the way, is stopping him from actually being seen. So that's why this Sexton is literally constantly able to hurt those Panthers. It did a ton of damage versus those things. I'm surprised they didn't get a veterancy from that. Now, the problem is, while the armor engagement is definitely leading to more German victories, the Allies are gaining way more territory. Oh my God, good hit. Good hit. KV2 going to try to get that kill, but the double Panther combo might be enough firepower to actually break that thing. Nope, misses. Up, that was a hit. Su-85 coming in for the kill. Smoke would be a great idea to call in to keep that thing alive. And I think he realized that's like, yeah, I'm overextending. German's going to try to capture this point, but like I said, they just don't have the infantry. Neither of them do. So that's the problem. Like, if you don't keep the infantry alive, it doesn't matter if you keep winning the armor engagements. The enemy's just going to capture more territory. Although it looks like the Allies do have more pop now, so that's pretty good. It sucks, like, fuck it. I'm going back to Cromwell. It's those Comets. Oh, boy. But that's going to be it. That's going to be game. What do I think of this game? I think it actually turned out really well. I think honestly, I think that the British did pretty good on defense, though his offensive capabilities were not great. Even on defense, he was okay at best. Cheez-Its single-handedly, like, he literally turned this game around. Like, the British guy lost everything to the double German push, and to be fair, I think he could have been a little bit more prepared. Maybe put down more mines, stuff like that. But Cheez-Its, he mined this area up. He slowly pushed the Germans back. He forced them into an engagement they really didn't want to be in, and literally they threw all their cards in that engagement because the Soviet player quickly managed to take over this entire sector. So, yeah. Meanwhile, on the German side, Frail did fine in the beginning and medium, but like toward the end, once Cheez-Its got his ball rolling, I feel like Frail needed a Brumbar, Panzerwerfer, something to really break up that, or more infantry to break up that support line. Normandy did fine. I think he did actually a little bit better, like more consistently. Though I feel like some of his choices of like Panzerwerfer capping the points that have helped in the engagement, I get it. You want to capture the point, but seriously, if this is like if this can be the climactic battle, you want that unit in. You don't want to save it just in case. You want to throw it in there because if he would have had that extra Panzer Grenadier squad or 2 in there fighting the armor, he could have annihilated all of the armor in that sector. So just for reference. And again, they could have recon to kind of identify it. It's like, oh, better to push it in or not. But yeah, that kind of goes with what I was saying. So Fryo got more damage. Normandy a little bit more consistent. Again, was more of a stat. Like again. Frail and Cheez-Its were definitely engaging themselves a lot more, and you can tell that by the damage with the Su-85 and the Panthers and whatnot. Let's double check what was everyone's MVP. But yeah, Suxlaw was okay on defense. But yeah, the pack guns up, cave and tell, bug splat, great. But in any case, guys, it's gonna be game. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you send in those replays and the best clips you can send me in of your awesome moves. I really need a good tagline for that. I'll think of something. But in any case, it's been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time. Hello, everyone. This is Greyshot17. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Ace, Joe Foley, Joey G, JP Vaal, jrchicklis, Manuel, Mark Cataly, Milam, Ollie, Chris Bailey, Onlyplayapples, Pyroshark, Rifle, Sebastian Marzalik, sgtMcPain, Streakingwookie, Toussaint, WhiteHotD, Aaron Yee, Jordan Savat, Leo Liu, Nathan, Angus, and Tim. Thank you again for your incredible support. You all rocked. It's been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time.